tell Courtney. Bad luck. It was worth a try. It was worth a try.
God.
Bear ice cream. Really did it. Wonder whether it was worth it. Most people never get the chance to be rich. Wouldn't you risk it?
Majewski, Beckett, Goldberg, Driscoll. These are good guys. I think you're wrapped up in this thing.
Not everyone has your unwavering restraint in the face of temptation. You know the way. You can...
7825, code 6.
This isn't looking good. I feel like the fat kid at the back of a race.
You sure it's Cohen making the hits?
All fingers point his way. Your buddies are in way over their heads. Being a Marine doesn't mean shit out here.
11K, car 11 King, come in.
Car 11 King.
11K, go to Hollywood Station. Hey, Courtney Sheldon is at Hollywood Station requesting an interview with Detective Cole Phelps.
Well, I'll be damned.
That's not correct protocol, 11K. I'll take that as a roger.
Car 11 King en route.
You're behind the wheel.
Roy, in my office, if you please.
I'm working a major case. I'm not close, Cap. It's gonna have to wait.
Let Phelps do the interrogation.
But, Cap,
No buts. This is more important.
I don't know, but it really works.
I need a drink.
You're in interview too, Phelps. There's a quack in there with him.
What gives?
Beats me. Word came down from the chief. Said it was okay.
Sheldon. Is this your attorney?
No, Detective. This is Dr. Harlan Fontaine. He came down here to help me out.
How do you do, sir?
You stole the morphine from the Coolidge.
You can't prove that.
Let's see if I can try. And what is your relationship to Sheldon, sir?
Tutor, mentor. Mr. Sheldon is a medical student of mine. He has a very bright future.
Oh, that's nice to know. Too bad all of your war buddies won't get to see your graduation. I would have asked Beckett or Majewski or Driscoll about their involvement, but that's difficult, considering they're all dead. That leaves you, Sheldon.
You can't blame their deaths on me, Phelps.
You're lying, Courtney. The other guys aren't smart enough to attempt something like this. You either give it up, or I go after Jack for it.
And how do you prove that, Cole? Jack isn't scared of you, Phelps. None of us were. We just followed your orders.
You were on the ship, Sheldon.
Yes, that's correct.
So you had opportunity.
But it doesn't mean that I was involved.
You were on the ship, Sheldon.
Yes, that's correct.
So you had opportunity.
But it doesn't mean that I was involved.
So you don't mind that the mob executed McGoldrick, Driscoll, and Beckett to get to you?
I don't know why you're trying to pin this on me. Where's your proof?
You don't ask, you never find out. So Eddie McGoldrick took his cut and bought the 111 Club.
I don't know what Eddie has been up to.
Have you finished, Detective?
I'm just getting started. You have an answer for everything, Courtney. Let's hope Jack does, because now I'm going after him. Is there anyone you're not prepared to sacrifice?
Jack is not in this. He's a good guy.
You or Jack, Courtney. I don't care who goes to jail. I just want the morphine off the street.
What are you offering, Cole?
Don't be ridiculous, son. This man is gambling.
What's your offer?
Doctor, good to see you.
I'm conducting an investigation.
Upstairs in my office now.
This man is about to confess.
As of now, you're suspended from duty, pending a fitness review.
What are you talking about?
You heard the man, Phelps. Upstairs and face the music like the hero you were. You certainly had us fooled, Detective. Phelps, you're one of my favorite sons. You've broken this old man's heart.
Sir, what is going on?
You're suspended, Phelps. Hand over your badge and gun.
Don't keep him waiting.
What is going on here?
Your wife's attorney has pictures of you and the German. Compromising pictures.
She's pressing charges. You'll be formally charged with adultery. A criminal cannot serve as an LAPD officer, as I'm sure you're aware.
I don't understand.
How could you do it, lad? Your wife, your children, consorting with the enemy and a dope fiend at that. You're lucky the war is over. You'd be taken out and shot. The department doesn't need this kind of publicity, Phelps. Hand over the gun, keep your head down until your board hearing. I forbid you to make any comments to the press. What the hell were you thinking?
Marie, listen, Marie, I need to explain.
Please leave. You're upsetting the girls.
Let me see them, Marie. They're my daughters.
Go to her, Cole. You have done enough damage here. Do you want me to call the police?
For God's sake, Marie, can't we at least talk?
What is there to talk about? Do you love her? Do you? What were you thinking? What about our children? Can you imagine what this has been like for them? Go away, Cole. My father has hired an attorney and you will be hearing from him.
I'd like to explain, Marie. I'd like to tell you what I've been going through.
What you've been going through. I have had reporters camped out on the front lawn all morning. I can't stand it, Cole.
Okay, everyone, keep it down. Cole Phelps joins the arson squad today.
How'd you like pork in that German whore, Phelps?
Phelps is up before a review board in December. Until then, he works the arson desk. End of story. Phelps.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what you did or didn't do, Phelps. I hear you're a good case man. But if you fuck up on my detail, I'll have you out of here before your feet touch the ground. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, sir.
Cap, we don't want a fucking rat like Phelps.
Can it, Tilden? Phelps, I'm partnering you with Herschel Biggs.
I don't do partners. You know that, Cap.
You do now, Biggs. Social basket cases like you two should get along just fine. Biggs will show you the ropes, Phelps.
This is arson. There are no ropes.
It shouldn't take long, then. Start with these two. House fires. 326 South Kenmore Avenue. Steffen's family was out of town when it happened. Then go to 4414 Rosewood, family by the name of Sawyer. Fire brigade will be on location.
Are they suspicious, Captain?
That's for you to find out, Detective. Now get out of here. Both of you. Get out!
I've been in this job 20 years. I never fired my gun.
I'm at a loss.
Captain said the first place was on Kenmore. Let's go.
That's him. That's the cop. He tried to poke me in the nose. Son, you're a couple of slates short of a full roof.
So what next?
Captain said the first place was on Kenmore. Let's go.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
All right. Where to?
How long have you been working arson?
We gonna do the small talk thing now? Talk baseball, exchange addresses? I don't think so. Feeling down, hotshot? Need a buddy? Or look somewhere else?
There isn't much left.
There never is if the job's done properly.
You think it was deliberate?
Nah, that's real pain in her face. They would have moved out the things they care about if this was insurance. There's no mileage in this. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Hirsch. Cap this one.
Yeah, Mike Brannigan, Cole Phelps. It's okay, Brannigan. His name may be dog shit, but there's none in his hand.
No offense, Phelps.
None taken. Do you have anything?
The fire started late last night. Steffen's family at Catalina Island. Won some kind of competition. Looks like the only thing they ever won in their lives. And they come home to this.
I'd say they were pretty lucky, really.
They don't have any insurance. Everything they own, including the house, is not a pile of rubble.
Where are they sleeping?
In the car. It's lucky the whole block didn't burn down. Word is they're bulldozing this whole neighborhood to build new homes for GIs. That's the man in the house. In the ruins. Terry Lady is his wife.
We'll take a look around. Come on, Phelps.
Found under the train. He solved the case. Looks barfly.
Recently serviced. Could be something to go on.
This doesn't pertain to the case. Doesn't tell me anything. Nothing significant. I don't think so.
Mr. Steffens? Cole Phelps and Herschel Biggs, LAPD. I know it's a difficult time, but could we have a word?
Don Steffens.
You were out of town.
We won a prize. We had a wonderful time. Came home to this.
Do you still have the tickets?
Sure.
It's a formality, but we'll need to speak to the issuing agent. Can you tell me any more about the prize that you won, Mr. Steffens?
Weekend at Catalina Island. My wife got this flyer in the mail from the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Did you enter any kind of competition?
My wife filled in a flyer. The lady just hung up and told us we won. It's the first time I ever won anything.
The redevelopment fund. Did they offer to buy you out?
They're building new houses. They showed their money and most of the neighborhood just packed up and walked away. But I never bargained with them.
GI houses?
Yeah, something like that.
That's all we need for the moment, Mr. Steffens.
All right.
What's with him?
You seen the papers. I guess he's thinking about his own family. I'd say he's searching for some kind of atonement right now.
He's the dirty cop from the newspaper.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need information on the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
Yes, Detective. Just checking. The fund is a semi-government agency established to speed up the building of GI homes. It has private investors as well as a government endowment.
Huh. You have an address for them?
There is one listed here, corner of Beverly and Mariposa.
Thank you.
You're falling behind, Herschel.
You do your job, I'll do mine.
You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD.
John Cunningham. Can I help you, gentlemen?
What can you tell us about the travel tickets that you issued to the Steffens family?
Steffens. Let me see. Family of 5, I think. Trip by flying boat to Catalina Island. Tickets were issued last week and redeemed this weekend.
Here they are. Steffens. The Sawyer family, Rosewood Avenue. Tell us about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
There's not much to tell. They run a promotion. Our promotions mailing list covers half of LA.
So they are not a government agency?
I don't believe so. Government organizations don't usually get involved in promotions.
I'm told the tickets were a prize.
Yes, they were.
You do a lot of these prizes?
Look, there are hundreds of these promotions running at any one time. If you're the lucky guy, you get your name pulled out of a hat.
While the Steffens family was at Catalina Island, their house burnt down. You consider them lucky?
Christ. I'm sorry to hear that.
Can you tell me who offered the prize they won?
Sure. Look, there's supposed to be some sort of supervised draw with hundreds of tickets. But the reality is the Suburban Redevelopment Fund calls me every couple of weeks and tells me exactly who's won.
Thanks for your help.
No problem. I just wish I could do something for that family.
You could put round the hat. A few bucks would really help them now.
I suppose so.
Good. I'll put you down for 50. I could tell you were Samaritan the minute I walked in the door.
50? Are you?
Good man, Cunningham. You're all right.
Yeah, I'm great. Poorer, but great.
You know the way. You can drive.
So where do you want to go?
Have there been any other house fires?
This is arson. We get an average of 2 a night. Does that answer your question? Hi, Albert. We've got this case.
Hey, Biggs. We? You have a partner? What gives?
This is Cole Phelps. You may have read about him.
Oh, now I get it. Hello, Phelps. Welcome to the netherworld of arson. Family of 4 found dead in their beds. Heater exploded.
Another one?
Insta-Heat Model 70. Before you get excited, we get a couple of water heaters a month go back. Take a look around the yard and see what you can find.
Mal.
You gonna stick it out?
I'm gonna try, Mal. What have you got?
Family by the name of Sawyer. Mother, father, and 2 kids. All in bed from the looks of it. Oh, I'd say carbon monoxide poisoning. The burns are superficial.
Time of death?
I'd say about midnight. Anything more exact will take some time to determine. Lynch tells me this has something to do with a faulty water heater.
Could be. There's been a spate of problems with a particular brand. I've got another angle in mind.
You care to elucidate, Detective? This is a murder and not an accident. Sharing information has helped us solve quite a few cases together.
I need something concrete, Mal, before the department gets wind of it. I'm in arson for a reason.
I feel sorry for your wife and kids, Phelps, not for you. But you're a good case man. One of the best I've ever met. I'll help in any way I can.
Thanks, Mal. I'd say that's firm but fair. Hey, Biggs! Is this significant?
Regulator valve. Good find.
Detectives? This is the next door neighbor.
Detective Phelps. Can you help?
They were supposed to be going away. They won a trip somewhere. But little Henry got sick, so they had to cancel. What are the chances?
Do you know who ran the competition?
Gulliver's Travel, up on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Phelps, the guy across the street. I've seen him before. He likes fire.
Hurry, you can still catch him.
Stop! LAPD! We've got an ID on you, Firebug. Stop right there! A family died in that fire. We need to ask some questions.
You lousy piece of shit! How dare you!
Come on.
I got you now, motherfucker!
What's your name?
Herbert Chapman.
So you like fires?
Some.
Watching them or setting them?
I don't want any trouble.
Turn out your pockets.
You're a naughty boy, aren't you, Herbert?
I keep myself to myself.
Cigarette in a matchbox gives you a 5 or 6 minute delay. You want more time, you use a mosquito coil. Don't you, Herbert?
You like this fire, Herbert?
Hell no. I heard it over the fire radio. Sounded sweet.
When you finish following your leads, come and see me at the fire station. I have a theory about this.
Will do, Lynch. Take this guy in. We might want him for questioning later.
You got it, Detective.
Why have you got such a hard-on for this case? If it is murder, it's almost impossible to prove. Fire doesn't leave much evidence. There's no percentage in this.
I think it's more than one case.
They're house fires, Cole. Accidents, heater fires, gas explosions.
There's got to be a reason.
The reason is you want to be a star again. Forget it. Give it up. You'll feel better.
There's something to this. I know it.
What are you talking about? Arson is insurance. It's always been insurance.
We still investigate the cases, Biggs. The people in this house are dead.
Go soak your head, Phelps. This hero business is a full-time obsession with you.
I'm gonna make this case. I'm gonna rub the department's nose in it. Help me or stay out of my way. You got it? How about the insurance companies write these incidents up as acts of God? You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going? Let me guess. You want to check out the suburban address?
Great partners must think alike, Herschel. This is supposed to be the registered offices of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
This is an Elysian housing development, Mac.
So Elysian is an investor in the redevelopment fund.
Looks that way.
Are we done here, Mac? I've got work to do.
Sure, buddy. Thanks for your help. Elysian are investors in the suburban redevelopment. So what? If you think I'm putting my pension on the line and harassing Leland Monroe without evidence, you're out of your mind.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
All right. Where to? Lynch says we should visit him at Fire Station 32.
Who exactly is this guy, Lynch?
Lynch is a legend. You should feel privileged. He doesn't let many people into the inner sanctum. Keep your mouth shut, and you'll learn something about fires.
We came as soon as we could.
Lynch.
Biggs, you two investigating the house fire on Kenmore Avenue as well?
Yep. Why?
I had a look around the place while I was out there.
Do you believe the fire?
I deal in facts, Phelps. Evidence of an explosion. No obvious sign of accelerants. Wiring looks intact. Come and take a look at this.
This the heater from the Sawyer fire, Al?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Looks like it was recently serviced.
I have a theory, and it's a theory only. I don't have enough evidence to prove...
Al, if you say it's so, we're listening.
Okay, Phelps. You're a bright penny. You have a gas supply. You have a Bunsen burner as a pilot light. You have a regulator valve, and the balloon represents the gas expanding in the room. Now, the gas has to make contact with the mosquito coil to form an explosion. Let's see if you can work out the chain of events.
The gas bubble needs to be next to the coil if it's gonna ignite.
Come on, Phelps. You need to get the arrangement right before we can reproduce the results. Try again, Boy Scout. Good, your regulator's in position. Okay, I'll light your pilot. turn the gas on.
You pull the lever on the left to turn on the gas.
So that's how it's being done.
Maybe. There could be a fault with these valves. I've adjusted this one for our experiment, but you need to take it to InstaHeat and see what they say. Their headquarters is on North Harvard Boulevard, number 262.
Thanks, Albert.
You're welcome, Biggs. See you at the next show. Follow the evidence, son. That's all any of us can do.
That's the swine. Look at him.
Can you drive to this one?
So where do you want to go?
Show?
The next fire. We should go to the factory and see how many of these things are going bang in the night.
You know this Chapman character?
Guy's a freak. Loves fires. He's the kind of guy that we'd like for a lot of things, but we don't really have any credible evidence to pursue him with.
Well, you don't see that every day.
Keep talking. Someday you'll say something intelligent. I swear, this town is going straight to hell. I'm gonna suck the hell out of you.
I know that face. That's the guy who busted all those Negro drug pushers last week, isn't it?
New and improved model. They'll be selling these like hotcakes.
I didn't come to California to be a secretary.
Real happy. This is when you marry a girl for love and you find out later she's got nothing.
LAPD detectives, ma'am. We need to speak to someone in charge.
I see. Well, duty manager for today is Mr. Rasick. You should find him in his office.
Hey, buddy. You dropped something? What the heck, fire? Sam's taking me out to Palm Springs for the weekend. Mister, a man like you always loses a battle of wits because you're unarmed.
I'm going to memorize your name and throw my head away.
You're the reason brothers and sisters shouldn't marry.
What the hell? I'm very busy, Detective. I'm also married, in case that's what you're thinking.
I swear, this town is going straight to hell.
Detective Phelps and Biggs, arson. We're investigating a couple of house fires. What can you tell us about this?
Pressure regulator from a Model 70, yeah.
Let me take a look. We have a problem. This has been tampered with.
What?
You see this diaphragm? It forms a seal across the saddle here. Gas flows across from here to here. The diaphragm regulates flow. It's been reversed. It's a subtle change, but it means the gas never closes off properly.
So you're telling me that this is not a manufacturing fault or service repair?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design.
How many guys would know how to make that change?
All you need is a screwdriver and a wrench. Anybody could pull it apart and put it back.
Are these diaphragms prone to failure?
They tend to go after a while. The rubber lasts quite a few years and then it perishes.
So the guys' names that I've been seeing doing the repairs on the heaters, they're fully licensed and accredited.
Sure, of course they are.
You employ accredited mechanics to do this.
We call them installers. Technically, they're gas fitters.
Installers, then?
They know what they're doing, Detective, if that's what you're trying to imply.
I want you to get me a copy of the list of your installers.
Okay, I'll get it for you. There, around a dozen of them. Housing business is going crazy at the moment.
This is a long shot. We are not going to roust that whole list.
I want to run it by R&I, cross-reference for arsonists. See if any of these guys have any previous. Sir, I need to use your phone.
Go right ahead.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need to know if any of the following names have a previous criminal history.
Okay, Detective, run the names.
Acevedo Ernesto, Clemens Walter, Elgram John, Gable Leroy, Kelligrew Peter, Kuttner Robert, Limehouse Albert, Manning Franklin, Neves Raymond, O'Brien Thomas, Ryan Matthew, Spurgeon William, Varley Reginald, Zurich Stephen.
Clemens Walter, previous conviction for arson and malicious damage. Burned down a house in Westwood in 1942. 4-year jail term.
Thanks.
Ryan Matthew, charged for contempt of court, attempted murder, plea bargain down to assault charge.
Anyone else?
There is a Reginald Varley wanted for murder by Detroit Police Department.
Thanks. You've been a big help, young lady. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Officer needs help, 103 AV.
People like you, but I had to pay admission.
Your employment roster is quite the rogues gallery, Mr. Rasick. Desperate times indeed.
Keep talking. Something intelligent. I swear, this town is going straight to hell. I'm gonna suck the hell out of you! You got a problem?
I know that face. That's the guy who busted all the illegal drug pushers last week, isn't it?
Hey, buddy. Drop something?
Advice?
Talk to the guy in charge. See what he says.
That's the sign. Look at it.
This town's dangerous. One of these days.
Do you have an address for Clemens?
He's working on an apartment building on Catalina and 3rd.
What about Ryan?
Currently working at a housing development on Normandy and 1st Street.
Varley, where is he?
Beverly and Mariposa, currently working on a new housing development. Hey, Varley's a good guy. You can't harass all my people.
These guys have lockers.
Yes, they do, but my men have a right to some privacy. Don't you need a warrant or something?
Show him and keep quiet.
Here. Happy now?
Stick around, Mr. Rasick. Some light reading on the merciless capitalist machine. Ryan wants the world to be a better place, don't we all?
Don't think this is going to help us.
Herschel, come on.
Yeah, as soon as I'm finished.
Clemens is a fellow traveler. My company went through thousands of these in the war. Still got eaten alive. Varley has a problem with bugs.
You know that a mosquito coil takes an hour to burn down, Rasic?
No, I didn't know that.
It's the favorite choice of ignition by arsonists. Gives them time to get away.
You're crazy. He probably lives near the canals in Venice. Mind if I leave you to it? I got work waiting.
Three birds. Clemens, Ryan, Varley. Where to, Phelps?
Keep talking.
You're behind the wheel.
So where do you want to go?
Are you Matthew Ryan?
Who's asking?
Detective Phelps and Biggs, arson squad.
Arson?
You heard the man.
Let's just put this stuff in the car and I'll be right with you.
Hold it, Ryan. I said...
Son of a bitch.
Those are GI's backyards he's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
He's a one-man wrecking ball.
Move in. I'll take out the van.
He's going to kill those men.
They'll get out of the way.
Only if they hear him coming.
Close in, Phelps. We need to take Ryan down before he hurts somebody. Phelps, you gotta get me closer. Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
Hands behind your head. Why did you run, Ryan?
I was scared.
You got a reason to be scared, Ryan?
Matthew Ryan, I'm arresting you on suspicion of committing a series of arsons.
Next guy on the list, Phelps. Come on.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Biggs, LAPD. We want some answers, and we want them quick.
Okay, okay. What's this all about? Just tell me what you want.
You know Reginald Varley?
No? Can't say I do.
Detroit PD is after Reginald Varley for murder. You want us to run you in for aiding and abetting, Clemens?
Whoa, 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 whoa. All I know about Varley is he gets kickbacks from some developer. Does their work first. Spreads it around if he can.
You were licensed and worked for InstaHeat?
I contract for them. So what?
InstaHeat hires arsonists, does it?
I've worked as a fitter all my life. Put everything I had into that house. And my fucking mud shark of a wife gets awarded it in settlement. She's blowing spics 2 at a time while I'm at work. And she gets the house. Yeah, I burnt it all right. Set fire to that fucker and watched it burn to the ground. I did my time and I'd do it again.
Sorry about the rouse, Clemens. You did the right thing.
Do you know Matthew Ryan?
No. Don't know the name.
You and Ryan are fifth columnists.
And how do you figure that, wise guy? What proof do you have? Been following me to meetings? I am not now, nor have I ever been, a member of the Communist Party. Nice try, copper.
All right, Clemens. You're off the hook for the moment.
Can I get back to work now?
Let's get out of here, Phelps. He ain't our guy.
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going? Varley's on the run. He might be packing heat. If he's wanted for murder, I say we take the doubt out of the equation and let him have it.
You nervous?
It's been a while.
You were in combat.
In 1917. You know, I never fired my weapon in the line of duty.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. I hope your piece is still serviceable, Herschel.
I may be old and out of practice, but I'm still a Marine, Phelps.
It would be better for our case if we could bring him in, Herschel. LAPD, Varley! Stop or I'll shoot! Come on, Varley! You can't keep running forever! Stop or I will shoot! Why did you run from us, Varley?
I'm gonna take a wild guess that you're the same Reginald Varley the Detroit police have an outstanding warrant on. How am I doing so far?
I need a lawyer before I talk to any of you.
Reginald Varley, you're under arrest for committing a series of arsons.
You're also under arrest for murder. Detroit PD will be putting in a request for your extradition. Until then, your guest at the scene.
Arson? You can't hang that rap on me.
Be quiet. Be thankful we don't shoot you.
Are all the cops in this town crazy?
Take him away, officer.
We have 3 suspects. As much as I'd like it to be Chapman, I think it's one of the other 2 guys. Let's get to the station and close this case.
KGPL to any central unit. Meet the officer, a hit-and-run felony at 6th and Alvarado. Any unit able to handle, code 2 identified.
Please!
He can't really help me.
He's dull as dishwater.
Two peanuts are walking down the street. You want a tip? Refill my coffee.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes. I have two suspects.
Phelps, you got nothing. Biggs, Ryan's waiting for you in interview 1. Varley's in 2.
Hey, Hopkins, you practicing your asshole routine again? Come on, Phelps.
Guy gave his wife a tap. Say all's fair in love and war.
Save yourself some time and get this thing off your chest.
If that's your opening gambit, you better try again. Now you got nothing to say? Well, I'm not done.
You think the Vice Boys get any on the side?
It's about time some of those movie people went to jail. Maybe.
That bum took a swipe at me. I put him down in my sap.
We have Matthew Ryan in custody, Varley. I think all we need to do is ask him about this, and he'll rat you out.
Fuck Ryan, that pinko bastard.
Have you ever worked on a place on Rosewood Avenue? Family by the name of Sawyer?
Maybe. I'm from out of town. I go where they send me. I don't do a lot of repairs, though. I'm flat out on new installations.
Why are you lying to me, Varley? If Suburban wants their new installations completed, why are you bothering with wrecks like the Sawyer house?
So I'm lying just because I can't remember if I was there or not? How can you prove that I was?
Your name is on the inside door of their water heater.
Okay. You got me there. Suburban, yeah, they wanted that guy out. Sawyer kept complaining about not being able to get his heater service, so they threw in a free service as a sweetener. I think he played him, though. Because he still wouldn't sell.
Word is, you're in the pocket of some property developer?
Never. I got principles.
Last chance, Varley. You're already a wanted man. It won't be hard to hang a double arson on top of your murder beef.
Hey, I shot a loan shark who was squeezing my brother for the vig.
That's why you ran?
I ran because the guys who ran that racket will kill me.
What would reversing the diaphragm of an Insta-Heat Model 70 do?
Yeah, I made that mistake before. You get a big bang when you turn the pilot back on.
So you didn't deliberately sabotage the water heater at the Sawyer house?
No, I did not. You out of your mind?
I don't believe you, Varley. I think Suburban wants homeowners who don't want to sell out of the way.
I think you're out of your mind. Where is the evidence that I have done anything to contribute to this fire? Huh? You're saying I'm some kind of psycho for hire? It's not true.
We're done for now.
So what happens?
You're either going back to Detroit to face a murder rap, or you're staying here to answer for these arsons.
Mouthpiece strips off me at the grand jury. Case thrown out. The DA wants my head.
He ran the light on Olympic, and we finally collared him on 10.
You think the vice boys get any on the side?
You know how to reverse a diaphragm in the regulator valve of a Model 70 heater?
No, I don't.
You know how to reverse a diaphragm in the regulator valve of a Model 70 heater?
No, I don't.
You expect me to believe that, Ryan? I could do it myself.
Believe whatever you want, Flatfoot. You're part of the conspiracy.
What can you tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Nothing.
I think Suburban is a front for your anarchist buddies. They're arranging for people to be out of town while you burn their houses down.
Suburban? What's that got to do with me? That's Farley's bilk. He's the one with the cozy agreement with those fascists.
So you want to change the world, Ryan?
Yes, I do. So does every reasonable person.
And you're doing your part?
Yes, I am.
Does that include sabotaging water heaters to destroy a company?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Last chance, Ryan. You level with me or I'm sending you to the DA. A conviction for sedition and murder will do wonders for his re-election campaign.
Nice try. But I got nothing to lose.
You have a history of violence.
I have no such thing.
You're lying, Ryan.
And how exactly are you going to prove that?
You were charged with attempted murder, Ryan.
It was a court case. No criminal liability was the verdict. They said that they couldn't have known that the faulty heater installation would cause a fire. All I know is I lost my whole family. And the company that was responsible got away with it. What would you do?
Which company?
Hephaestus Water Heater Company.
That's it for the moment, Ryan.
So I can go?
Sure. As soon as your red friends storm the building and carry out, you'll keep your seat until we decide how long to lock you up for, knucklehead.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
The women don't find you handsome? They should at least find you.
Mouthpiece torch strips off me at the grand jury. Case is thrown out and the DA wants my head.
Reginald Varley, I'm charging you with committing a series of arsons and for the murders of Hank Sawyer, Edwina Sawyer, Henry Sawyer, and Jessica Sawyer.
I'm no cold-blooded criminal. I could never burn up a whole family in their home.
How is it? No, just keep your mouth shut and listen to me for a second. How is it you can bring no less than 3 suspects into my station, conduct extensive interviews, sift through mountains of evidence with Lynch and Pinker, and still manage to charge the wrong fucking guy? I took a chance on you, Phelps. People said I was crazy, And you made me look like a jerk. You may not be much of an arson investigator, but I hear you're merciless on the beat. Get going.
You're 2 blocks behind 1st and 2nd. We have more buildings to clear. You know our orders,
There's
Sergeant.
barely a building left standing or not on fire in your zone, Cole. Is your sector full of Japs?
Questioning my command.
The captain doesn't want anyone falling behind.
Tell the captain we will join him when the job is done.
Just give us the word, Sarge. We'll take care of him. He should be sectioned. That Jap lover's a fucking liability.
We're here to kill Japs, not our own people.
Star-crossed son of a bitch. No one wants to serve under him. He's bad fucking luck.
Can it? Job to do here. If I can live with it, you can too.
House fire. Bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever hear Florence?
You got a stakeout down on 2nd later tonight.
You're a modest little person with much to be modest about.
I've been in this job 20 years. I never fired my gun.
I can tell you are naive.
I say we bust in there and find the guy.
You hear about Rancho Escondido?
Are we having a conversation, Biggs?
Okay, fuck it. Forget
I'm teasing you, Herschel. Tell me about it.
Well, the new housing development's a couple of weeks from completion. Burned to the ground last night. GIs are ready to move in this weekend. Developer's gonna have some very angry customers.
Any available unit, meet
Shit
the
about
officer
Chet.
211 just
The arson desk has been trying to nail that son of a
Main
bitch for
Street.
years.
Unit to handle code
He's still in
2.
custody, Herschel.
Wanna bet? Fella kicked him loose already. Can't hold him for misdemeanor cigarettes and matches.
Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
This is 11K. We'll handle the call at Main Street.
11K, your 211 is at the Bank of Arcadia, 253 Main Street.
Hands off! I'm sick!
Nothing that a night in the tank wouldn't fix, bub. Now, where did they go?
What happened?
Two guys made off with about $1,000 in a paper sack. The VAG says he saw him leave.
I'm right here, you know!
Not much of a witness.
Sir, you need to tell us where they went. Now.
They headed for the parking lot.
Okay, one traffic stop coming up. Don't go to sleep on me. Getting close.
Quite a ride you took us on. Get out with your hands up. You can drive. You guys better see this. I hope you have strong stomachs. Do you have a name? Morelli, Mike. We recovered a picture of the family. Okay. Anything else?
To be honest, I just got here, Phelps. Best you talk to Lynch. He's the expert.
Doesn't make any sense. Why aren't they scattered around like the rest of the debris?
I think they've been moved.
Ooh.
I think someone moved them after the explosion and before the fire.
Can you explain that, please?
I'm almost positive the cause of death is asphyxiation due to gas inhalation. Look at the parts of their bodies that aren't scorched. The coloring around the fingertips is typical.
They wouldn't have felt a thing.
I think the fire damage is post-mortem. I think someone moved him into this room after the explosion.
It still doesn't make any sense. Why would you run into a burning building?
What are they doing?
The prayer effect is from the fire. The muscles and tendons contract.
Find anything interesting?
You ever think about how many people have died in this world? And how big heaven would have to be to accommodate them bigs?
No, I have not. Show some respect.
It's our boy. I think he watches the fires. I think the Sawyer fire went wrong.
So what about the guy we have in jail, Phelps?
We got the wrong guy.
That doesn't explain why he ran into a burning building. What would make anyone do that?
Guilt.
For the fires?
For his mistake. This guy wants to burn houses, not families. He expects the houses to be empty. He was trying to redeem himself. He probably thought they'd be happier together.
You are one very disturbed individual, Phelps. I know you had it rough lately, but you should start to compartmentalize your thoughts.
He could be right. Can you come up with an alternative explanation?
Sure, it's the same guy.
Are you telling me that some son of a bitch murdered these people, the whole family, and arranged them here like Cupid dolls?
Might fit, Cole, but I don't think we could ever prove it. There's very little evidence.
Evidence?
Albert, check out the hot water system. Make sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating Biggs.
Incidental. Doesn't give me anything to go on. No good to me.
So something finally got to you.
You want my help, pretty boy? You got it. You keep riding me, and you won't be pretty much longer.
We can get this guy, Herschel.
You think you've seen everything, Phelps? I was with the 2nd Marines at Bella Wood. The things that went on in that farmhouse. My own guys on fire, screaming for a way out. You're not gonna get this guy. There's gonna be no photos and no citations. We're gonna kill this miserable fuck. End of story. You getting this?
You remember the list from the travel agent?
Sure.
The Morellis were winners too. Their name was on that list.
Christ. We should take a look around, work the neighbors, see what they know. I'll go across the street.
Okay, I'll try this side.
I haven't done this for years.
You don't look like a fireman, son.
LAPD. Can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
What's your name, sir?
Foreman. Dudley Foreman.
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
And then what happened?
It was like Pearl Harbor with bits of the house raining down. Blew out all of our windows that faced the place.
I'll have a patrolman come by and take your statement. Hopefully you'll be a little bit more cooperative with him.
Come on, kid. I'm doing my best here. You were talking about the competition, right? Catalina Island? I've got one of the flyers in the kitchen if you're interested.
You smoke heavily, Mr. Foreman?
No. I never touched tobacco. Why do you ask? What the hell? Those aren't mine.
Any luck, Cole?
Couple of things. What did you pick up?
Folded piece of paper. Looks complicated.
Japanese call it origami. Can I take a look?
Sure.
Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Hey, don't break it.
I'm not. I'm unfolding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
For what?
For Elysian Fields Developments.
Oh, I see you already have one.
When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday afternoon.
Gotta be something big, right?
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, Detective. The address is 748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
You have a message. Contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Leads in the Morelli fire.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe? He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind? I'm warning you, Phelps.
Commander, we have a line of inquiry.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread, Phelps. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
So you're the first in this family born without.
Kelty has warned us off over Elysian.
Makes sense. It's a dead end. We should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go. You gotta be kidding me. We're driving this? You know, there are times when you really miss a nightstick. There's more religion in the end of a nightstick than in 100 cathedrals.
I'm not gonna tell you again, sir.
Don't tell me when and how I can come and go on my own property.
It is not
This is
safe,
America,
sir.
dickhead.
Now step back, or I'll lock you up for
Smart
a fray.
mouth son of a bitch!
Come back here. You're not getting off that easy.
You're being damn foolish, soldier.
We're gonna have to pacify this poor sass.
This is not befitting a GI.
Don't worry. I'll lay you out quick.
Stand down! That's an order!
I'm gonna bust you right in the mouth.
Good thing you showed up when you did, detectives. Those folks were baying for blood.
Okay, then. Let's see if there's anything left to take a look at.
Mortar is like dust. Is that normal in a fire?
You'd expect some shrinkage in the heat, but it looks like the cement barely adhered to the brick. Doesn't appear to be any wall ties either. This thing looks like it was built on the cheap. If we're paying a visit to Elysian and ruining my career, let's bite the bullet and get on with it.
Can you drive to this one?
All right. Where to? Fine. But if the skipper sees us driving around in this, we're dead. How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole?
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
Do you have an appointment?
We're the police, lady. We don't need an appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
What on earth is that man doing? I didn't come to California to be a secretary. Let me guess. You're lost in my eyes.
May I help you, gentlemen?
We would like to speak to Mr. Monroe.
I'm afraid it's impossible. Mr. Monroe's schedule is booked weeks in advance.
Cut to the chase, sister. Is he in?
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, officer.
So he hired you for your intelligence?
I find that offensive.
You have every right to.
This is getting us nowhere, miss.
Casino.
Would you like us to return with a warrant?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen. Come into my office. You like a cigar? Drink, boys.
Sure, I'll have a scotch.
Biggs. We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
It's terrible, boys. How can I help?
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
We hear that Suburban is under severe time pressure to complete work on the new houses. I think you're getting heavy-handed about it, and it's gone wrong.
I hope you have some proof of how I'm involved in this. I'll be happy to sue you for whatever you're worth.
You're off the hook, for now.
I hope that's all.
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
Two families are dead, Mr. Monroe. This isn't a question of criminal liability. We're looking at conspiracy to commit murder.
Do you know who you're talking to, son? You want to use incendiary language like that with me? I suggest you should leave immediately.
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
We found a family burnt out in their home. Another house burned to the ground. Another Elysian Fields flyer. Our information is that they didn't want to sell.
Are you saying that's something to do with me? Is that your point?
Point is, every time we find a family barbecued, we find one of your flyers. Is that good advertising?
We've made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way. That's the American way.
Come on, Mr. Monroe. You expect me to believe that you would build a new development with one of those old piles smack bang in the center of it?
Progress is an inexorable process, Detective. Those who choose to stand in defiance are usually confined to the wastebasket of history. To answer your question, yes, we would build around them if we had to. Most people see sense.
What's Elysian Fields' involvement in Rancho Escondido?
One of our latest housing developments. It was due to open on the weekend, or was before the unfortunate conflagration.
It met with building code regulation.
Absolutely. Only the best for our returning heroes.
You're lying, Monroe. There's something out of kilter about that development.
Son, I've had enough of you and your fidgety friend. There's no way in hell you can prove that my materials were inferior.
I'm no expert, but I think we'll find that the bricks being used on those houses are undersized and the mortar is faulty.
And there's no wall ties connecting the masonry to the frame.
Every building is built to a budget, boys. Those buildings were inspected and fully insured by California Fire and Life. Investment of that magnitude demands it. Do you think that they'd vouch for the buildings without examining them? The arsonists, do you have any suspects?
We aren't at liberty to say.
I didn't think so. The contractors I use for waybills, do you suppose it could be any of them? I have a list of their names if it'd be of any help.
That would be very helpful, Mr. Monroe.
Glad to hear it. I'm always happy to help the LAPD. My secretary will provide you with that list. Know that I'm on the board of the police pension fund.
Glad to be of help, officers.
Your boss is a fine man.
I'm not with him for the conversation.
You can drive.
So where do you want to go? Jesus, Cole. What's wrong with a good old-fashioned black and white?
This is the flashpoint. The heater detonated with enough force to expose the foundations. Looks like the same model.
There isn't much I can tell you right now, Cole. Find anything interesting?
I'm stumped. Ideas?
I don't think we're done with Monroe. He must have more answers. Let's head back.
Whoever he was wearing boondockers. I would know that imprint anywhere. Standard man's dress shoe.
All a man can do is put in a prayer for the dead. That's about all I've got to say about it.
Help me out.
I don't think we're done with Monroe. He must have more answers. Let's head back.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed? Fine. But if the skipper sees us driving around in this, we're dead.
I'm going to memorize your name and throw my head away.
What the heck?
I think his name is Phil.
Do it again.
That's the swine. Look at him.
If olive oil comes from olives, where does baby oil come from?
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
And where exactly are we going? You gotta be kidding. We're driving this?
There isn't much I can tell you right now, Cole.
Got friends who work at the
Going
Examiner.
straight to hell.
How about $5 for the exclusive?
Find anything interesting?
How did you get my number, Ira?
At first, I didn't understand you. But now I do.
I'd like you to come back to the clinic.
I'm helping other people now, Doctor.
I think you are confused. You haven't been to the clinic for weeks.
I'm not confused anymore, Doctor. I'm helping people be together.
This world is only temporary. We'll all be happier in heaven.
Why don't you tell me where you are and I can come to you? I think the fires should end now. They have served their purpose.
Oh, the fires are only beginning, Doctor. After the fires, everything will be beautiful and clean.
Everything will be erased. The world will be fresh and new.
I can see my purpose now, Doctor. And you helped me to find it.
You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed? Jesus, Cole. What's wrong with a good old-fashioned black and white? What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.